Presenting my semester project on the question, does drinking energy drinks regularly negatively affect heart health? I chose this topic because energy drinks are extremely popular, especially among teenagers and young adults, but many people do not fully understand how these drinks may affect the body and heart over time. So let's get started. First, I want to discuss the significance of the topic. Energy drinks are commonly used to improve energy, focus, and alertness. People drink them daily before work, school, or sports and studying just to get that extra energy and focus so they don't feel tired throughout the day. The drinks contain high amounts of caffeine that are not recommended for consumption, and they also include many stimulants, which affect the cardiovascular system. Because so many people consume them regularly, it is important to understand whether they are actually safe for long-term use for drinking. Why this matters is because heart health is extremely important to overall health. Problems like high blood pressure or irregular heart rhythms such as palpitations or tachycardia can place stress on the cardiovascular system and may eventually lead to serious conditions. Many consumers assume energy drinks are harmless because they are sold in stores, and they can even be sold in a organic grocery store, so you'll think it'll be perfectly healthy, but we'll go into more detail later. They're also heavily advertised. As you can see in the picture I have above, it shows the way these energy drinks look. They look attractive. They have this pop-up color. Looks like they're gonna taste good. It'd be good for you. But scientific research suggests that there may be risks people are unaware of. Another thing I want to point out in the photo diagram I have above here, we can see the caffeine amounts in some of these energy drinks. Like for example, a Bang energy drink has 300 milligrams of caffeine. A Celsius 200 milligrams, Alani 200 milligrams. These are just not recommended amounts. It's just way too much that your body needs. There are two main positions related to this research. The answer supported by evidence is that regular consumption of energy drinks can negatively affect heart health. And the answer refuted is drinking energy drinks in moderation does not affect heart health in healthy individuals. After reviewing the research, the evidence strongly supported the first position. To investigate this research, researchers conducted a controlled study on 34 healthy adults between the ages of 18 and 40 years old. This is significant because it focused on people who had no pre-existing health conditions. Participants consumed 32 ounces of an energy drink within an hour. Their heart activity was closely monitored using an ECG or an electrocardiogram, which is just patches they put along their chest to watch their heart rate. The setup allowed researchers to isolate the physical response of the heart to these beverages. Right here, I have a diagram showing the drink A and drink B, which are both energy drinks, and then we have a placebo. We can obviously tell that drink A had a serious effect on the beats per minute on the heart, as well as drink B, but I believe drink A had a higher milligrams of caffeine in it. This right here is a diagram of a healthy human heart. The findings of the research were a bit worrisome. The ECGs showed that energy drinks cause a delay in heart's electrical activity. Specifically, it took longer for the heart to recover between beats. In medical settings, we can see this as a prolongation of a QT interval. This is a serious observation because when the heart's electrical timing is off, it shows the risk of irregular heart rhythms or arrhythmias, which is just similar to palpitations but a little bit more serious. Over time, the small disruptions can lead to more serious cardiac events. If we're moving on from the electrical activity, the study also recorded a significant increase in blood pressure, about 4 to 5 higher than the placebo group. That seems not as a high number, but in the human body, even in minor cases, systematic pressure, the heart has to pump harder against more resistance. This places consistent stress on the cardiovascular system, which will lead to thickening of the heart walls and longer health complications. So some more evidence for the answer supported is when I was looking over the Shaw study, caffeine was not the only issue in these energy drinks. Researchers compared people drinking energy drinks to those that were having just a regular cup of coffee. The caffeine in the energy drink had way more of a higher strain on the heart. The added ingredients like taurine or the herbal stimulants are doing something to our bodies that we just don't fully understand, as well as researchers, which is why we're going into this topic. It just goes to show that energy drinks affect the heart differently than a regular cup of coffee. The American Heart Association believes it's the specific type of ingredients that are causing the risks. This is important because it shows that even if you're used to caffeine, the drinks are putting a unique type of stress that your body isn't familiar with. Now, evidence against the answer refuted is a lot of people think that having one energy drink every now and then is fine and harmless, but the research pushes back on that exact topic. The people in the study were young and healthy. They had a measurable amount of change in their heart electrical activity and blood pressure. Something that I found a little interesting is these effects happen almost immediately after finishing the bottle of the energy drink. This is a big deal because it suggests that there might not be a safe, moderate amount for you to drink. The data shows that the stress on your cardiovascular system is still happening even if you don't feel it. So some people may feel that their heart is racing or kind of feel jittery. Others feel normal. They don't think that these drinks are doing anything to them, but behind the scenes, it's a serious effect that may affect them long term. A huge misconception out there is that energy drinks are only dangerous if you have already. A huge misconception is that people think energy drinks are only dangerous if you already have heart problems. Most people think, okay, I'm a young adult, I'm going to the gym, I exercise, I should be fine. The study participants were specifically chosen because they had no known heart conditions. They were totally healthy, even so they still experienced those measurable amount of changes in their blood pressure and heart rhythm. This is important because it shows that the risk is way more broader than we thought. It's not just something that affects high-risk individuals, it's actually causing stress on the hearts of perfectly healthy individuals. So why could these misconceptions possibly exist? Like, what started them? Science shows these risks. Why do people still think they're safe, right? A big reason is the heavy amount of marketing that is done on these drinks. You see the energy drinks almost everywhere. Like, walk into a store, the first thing you see is going to be an energy drink. And these drinks are associated with sports, gaming, and extreme fitness. So if you're a person who likes to go work out, you didn't sleep well last night, what are you going to do? When you get an energy drink, it's going to caffeine me and I'm going to have a lot of energy. This just makes them seem like a normal part of a healthy lifestyle. Also, there is a lack of awareness about the ingredients inside of the can. A lot of people compare it to the coffee because they just think about the caffeine. But like I said earlier, there's a lot of added stimulants in these drinks. Long-term effects haven't been studied widely, which is, again, people aren't going to know about, they don't want to know about the short-term effects, they want to know about long-term. They haven't been studied as much as things like sugar or even smoking. A lot of people might assume, okay, I'm not going to have a heart attack immediately, I should be fine. And this is just due to the lack of long-term data. It makes it easy to ignore the small stresses that gets on your heart daily. In conclusion, the evidence from this research supports the idea that regular energy drink consumption can negatively affect heart health. The study found increases in blood pressure and changes in heart's electrical activity after participants consumed energy drinks. Although more research is still needed on long-term effects, these findings suggest that people should be careful about how much and how often they are consuming these energy drinks. This right here is all of the sources I use in my works cited. Thank you so much for listening. If you have any questions, please let me know.